Hi, my name is Elon Musk. I am business magnate and investor. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. I think there should be regulations on social media to the degree that it negatively affects the public good. I think you should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side. Great companies are built on great products. Rockets are cool. There's no getting around that. I will never be happy without having someone. Going to sleep alone kills me. Starting a business is not for everyone. Starting a business, I'd say, number one is have a high pain threshold. If humanity doesn't land on Mars in my lifetime, I would be very disappointed. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness to make sure it continues into the future. Tesla is here to stay and keep fighting for the electric car revolution. If I'm not in love, if I'm not with a long-term companion, I cannot be happy. If we drive down the cost of transportation in space, we can do great things. Self-driving cars are the natural extension of active safety and obviously something we should do. We are the first species capable of self-annihilation. You could warm Mars up, over time, with greenhouse gases. Life is too short for long-term grudges. If something's important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. I would like to die on Mars, just not on impact. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. When I was in college, I wanted to be involved in things that would change the world. Any product that needs a manual to work is broken. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. In order to have your voice be heard in Washington, you have to make some little contribution. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. I do love email. Wherever possible, I try to communicate asynchronously. I'm really good at email. I think we are at the dawn of a new era in commercial space exploration. The factory is the machine that builds the machine. My opinion is it's a bridge too far to go to fully autonomous cars. In the early days of aviation, there was a great deal of experimentation and a high death rate. I had so many people try to talk me out of starting a rocket company, it was crazy. Selling an electric sports car creates an opportunity to fundamentally change the way America drives. Mars is the only place in the solar system where it's possible for life to become multiplanetarian. I'd like to dial it back 5% or 10% and try to have a vacation that's not just email with a view. I've been to Disneyland like 10 times. I'm getting really tired of Disneyland. Land on Mars, a round-trip ticket, $500,000. It can be done. I'm reasonably optimistic about the future, especially the future of the United States, for the century at least. Man has the power to act as his own destroyer, and that is the way he has acted through most of his history. The key to making things affordable is design and technology improvements as well as scale. As you heat the planet up, it's just like boiling a pot. Tesla is becoming a real car company. I've actually not read any books on time management. I don't think it's a good idea to plan to sell a company. I do think there should be some regulations on AI. Over time, I think we will probably see a closer merger of biological intelligence and digital intelligence. America is the spirit of human exploration distilled. I'm anti-tax, but I'm pro-carbon tax. I'm a Silicon Valley guy. I just think people from Silicon Valley can do anything. Here in the West, people often don't like listening to their leaders, even if they are right. If you had to buy a new plane every time you flew somewhere, it would be incredibly expensive. I'm personally a moderate and a registered independent, so I'm not strongly Democratic or strongly Republican. I usually describe myself as an engineer. That's basically what I've been doing since I was a kid. I think long-term you can see Tesla establishing factories in Europe, in other parts of the US, and in Asia. If anyone has a vested interest in space solar power, it would have to be me. I wish we could be private with Tesla. It actually makes us less efficient to be a public company. Facebook is quite entrenched and has a network effect. It's hard to break into a network once it's formed. I'm trying to construct a world that maximizes the probability that SpaceX continues its mission without me. The pace of progress on Mars depends upon the pace of progress of SpaceX. The fuel cell is just a fundamentally inferior way of delivering electrical energy to an electric motor than batteries. A Prius is not a true hybrid, really. The current Prius is, like, 2% electric. It's a gasoline car with slightly better mileage. I'm glad to see that BMW is bringing an electric car to market. That's cool. Nobody wants to buy a $60,000 electric Civic, but people will pay $90,000 for an electric sports car. Obviously, Tesla is about helping solve the consumption of energy in a sustainable manner, but you need the production of energy in a sustainable manner. Silicon Valley has some of the smartest engineers and technology business people in the world. There are some important differences between me and Tony Stark, like I have 5 kids, so I spend more time going to Disneyland than parties. The rumors of the demise of the U.S. manufacturing industry are greatly exaggerated. I feel very strongly that SpaceX would not have been able to get started, nor would we have made the progress that we have, without the help of NASA. Winning Motor Trend Car of the Year is probably the closest thing to winning the Oscar or Emmy of the car industry. You need to be in the position where it is the cost of the fuel that actually matters and not the cost of building the rocket in the first place. Thanks for watching this video. Do like and subscribe.